All right, folks, let's talk about gyms. You think hitting the treadmill is tough? Imagine training like an ancient warrior. Long before treadmills and protein shakes, humans were getting ripped for survival. We're talking thousands of years ago. Back then, physical strength wasn't just about looking good, it was about staying alive. Think about it, hunting for food, building shelter, defending your tribe, it was all a workout. These early humans were the original CrossFitters, constantly moving, lifting and pushing their bodies to the limit. They didn't have fancy gyms or equipment. Their bodies were their gym, and their environment was their playground. These ancient people were ripped. They had to be. They were strong, agile, and could run for miles. It was all about functional strength. They didn't lift weights to get swole. They lifted rocks to build shelters. This wasn't just happening in one place either. From the plains of Africa to the jungles of South America, ancient cultures were developing their own unique ways to stay fit and strong. This wasn't just about survival, though. It was about community, tradition, and pushing the limits of human potential. Take ancient Greece, for example. They had gymnasiums where athletes trained for the Olympics, honing their bodies and minds. These athletes were revered, and their training was intense, involving running, wrestling, and throwing the discus. In ancient China, martial arts were a way of life. Shaolin monks trained rigorously, combining physical prowess with mental discipline. Meanwhile, in India, yoga was developed as a holistic practice, blending physical postures with breath control and meditation. And let's not forget the Roman gladiators who trained to fight in the Colosseum. Their training was brutal, designed to prepare them for combat. Across the world, different cultures had their own methods of training, each tailored to their unique environments and needs. So next time you're at the gym, remember that the concept of physical fitness is as old as humanity itself. Whether you're lifting weights, running, or practicing yoga, you're part of a long tradition of humans striving to be their best. So keep pushing, keep striving, and remember, you're not just working out, you're connecting with a rich history of human strength and resilience. Now let's jump ahead to ancient Greece, the birthplace of democracy, philosophy, and six-packs. The Greeks took fitness seriously, man. For them, it wasn't just about being strong, it was about achieving physical perfection. They believed in a sound mind, in a sound body. The Spartans, those legendary warriors, were basically fitness fanatics. They started training boys from a young age. We're talking rigorous military drills, hand-to-hand combat and running for miles in full gear. These guys were the ultimate fighting machines, but it wasn't all about combat. The Athenians, known for their philosophy and art, also valued physical fitness. They saw it as a way to cultivate discipline, grace and beauty. They developed the gymnasium, a place where men could train, compete and socialize. Think of it as the original social club, but with more sweat and less Instagram. The Greeks even had the Olympics, the ultimate celebration of human physical achievement. These guys were way ahead of their time. They understood the link between physical activity, mental clarity, and overall well-being. They were onto something, man. Now let's talk about the Romans. These ancient people were not just about grand architecture and epic battles. They had a unique approach to fitness and public entertainment that was truly ahead of its time. These guys took fitness to a whole new level. We're talking gladiators, man. These warriors were the epitome of strength and endurance, trained to perfection to entertain and fight in the grand arenas. These warriors trained like professional athletes. Their training regimens were rigorous and demanding, designed to build not just physical strength but also mental resilience. They had strict diets, intense workout routines, and even coaches to help them prepare for combat in the arena. Their diets were carefully planned to ensure they had the energy and stamina needed for their grueling training sessions and fights. Gladiators were the rock stars of their time. They were celebrated and admired, often becoming legends in their own right. The arenas would fill with cheering crowds, all eager to see their favorite gladiators in action. They were strong, skilled, and worshipped by the masses. Their prowess in combat made them heroes, and their stories were told and retold, inspiring many. They trained in special schools called ludi, where they learned to fight with swords, shields, and their bare hands. These schools were like modern-day sports academies, dedicated to honing the skills of these warriors. They were the ultimate fighting machines, pushing their bodies to the absolute limit. Their training was relentless, ensuring they were always at the peak of their abilities. But it wasn't all about gladiators. The Romans had a broader culture of fitness and health that extended to all citizens. The Romans were big on public baths too. These baths were more than just places to get clean, they were integral to Roman social life and health practices. These weren't just places to get clean, they were social hubs where people could exercise, relax and connect. The baths were equipped with various facilities that catered to different aspects of health and wellness. They had pools, gyms and even massage rooms. People would spend hours here, engaging in physical activities, socializing and unwinding. They understood the importance of taking care of your body and mind. The baths were a testament to their holistic approach to health, combining physical exercise with relaxation and social interaction. The Romans also loved their chariot races and gladiatorial combat. These events were grand spectacles that drew massive crowds and showcased the physical prowess of the participants. These events were not just for entertainment, they were a spectacle of physical prowess. The skill and bravery of the participants were on full display, captivating the audience. The crowds went wild, cheering on their favorite athletes. The atmosphere was electric, filled with excitement and anticipation. It was like the Super Bowl and the Olympics rolled into one. The scale and grandeur of these events were unmatched, making them a central part of Roman culture and entertainment. Section 4. Monasteries and muscles, the medieval approach to fitness. After the Roman Empire fell, things got a little dark even in the world of fitness. The grand arenas and public baths of Rome were no more, and the structured physical regimens faded into history. But don't worry, even in the Middle Ages, people were still finding ways to stay in shape. Life itself demanded it. Monasteries, those centers of religious life, became unexpected hubs of physical activity. These places were not just for prayer and contemplation. Monks might not have been pumping iron, but they were lifting heavy stuff all day long. From moving stones to build their abbeys to carrying water and supplies, their daily chores were a full-body workout. They had to build and maintain their monasteries, tend to their fields and chop wood for fuel. These activities required strength, endurance, and a lot of perseverance. It was honest, hard work that kept them strong and healthy. Their physical labor was a form of exercise that was seamlessly integrated into their daily routines. Knights, those armored warriors, also had to stay in top shape. Their lives depended on their physical prowess. They trained in sword fighting, horseback riding, and other martial arts. These training sessions were rigorous and demanding, ensuring they were always battle-ready. Wearing all that armor and wielding those weapons required serious strength and endurance. The weight of the armor alone could be over 50 pounds, and they had to be agile and quick despite it. Let's not forget the peasants. They were the backbone of medieval society. They made up the majority of the population, and their lives involved a lot of physical labor. From dawn till dusk, they were engaged in activities that kept them physically fit. Farming, blacksmithing, and even just hauling water from the well, it was all a workout. Every task they performed required muscle and stamina. They may not have had gyms, but they were strong and resilient people. Their daily lives were their fitness routines, and their strength was a testament to their hard work and determination. Whether in the fields, the forges, or the monasteries, medieval people found ways to stay fit and healthy. Their approach to fitness was practical, born out of necessity, and deeply intertwined with their way of life. And let's not forget the festivals and celebrations. Dancing and festivities were also a part of their lives, adding a joyful element to their physical activities. So, while they might not have had modern gyms or fitness classes, the medieval approach to fitness was effective in its own right. It was a lifestyle that kept them strong, healthy, and ready for whatever challenges came their way. Section 5. Renaissance Revival, Rediscovering the Body Beautiful. Fast forward to the Renaissance. After the Middle Ages, there was a renewed interest in classical learning and culture. And guess what? That included the human body. Artists and scholars began to rediscover the beauty and athleticism of the ancient Greeks and Romans. Think of Michelangelo's David. That statue wasn't just about art. It was about celebrating the human form in all its glory. People started to realize that physical fitness wasn't just about being strong for war or labor, it was also about aesthetics and self-improvement. This led to a renewed interest in physical education. Schools started incorporating gymnastics and games into their curriculums. People began to see the value in developing a healthy body alongside a healthy mind. This was a time of great change and discovery, and the world of fitness was no exception. People were starting to see the body as a source of power, beauty, and potential.